Lately, Fox News has been taking a lot of shots at Donald Trump. Of course, there's still the Sean Hannitys of the world defending him there. But boy, now it has been a little mini army against Trump at Fox News. So this is very interesting. Just today, John Roberts, Fox News correspondent at the White House, walked out of a White House press briefing. Sarah Huckabee Sanders noted, he's like, oh, I guess John Roberts has somewhere better to go. And he said, like, yeah, we're not on camera. So you're not doing this on TV. And so I got to go do a live shot. So that's one Fox reporter at least taking a shot at the White House and disrespecting them, as well he should, by the way. Good job by John Roberts standing up to them there. So then you remember this from Charles Krauthammer, about as conservative as anybody on the planet, but he said this about Trump.
I don't think there's a crime of collusion, but I think what you do have is 6 months of deception from the White House, either advertent or inadvertent, perhaps. If nobody knew about this meeting, I'm assuming the president did not know about the meeting, but they had said for 6 months they had no meetings, they had no interaction, they had nothing here in black and white as an admission of, we want to help your campaign, we have stuff on Hillary, the state prosecutor in the Kremlin has stuff, and the response is, I love it. That contradicts the whole line of defense that the Trump campaign.
Whether they got the stuff or didn't.
Whether it's a crime or not is a totally different issue. I'm willing to concede it's not a criminal act, but it's certainly an unethical act.
Damn. Fox News calling the Trump administration unethical and saying that they were deceiving you all along. Well, if it was just one or two guys, you might say, oh, that's an outlier. Well, let's go to Napolitano. This is a guy that Trump likes so much that he thought about putting him on the Supreme Court. I know that's hilarious. But even Napolitano is saying, this looks really bad, watch.
Had he actually received information, you're saying that would have been?
That would have been a felony. That would have been the completion of a crime. So when like John Sununu, Bill just did a great interview with former Governor Sununu, who kept saying, just as Jay Sekulow, who we all know, yesterday, where's the crime, where's the statute that they violated? Often, these non-violent criminal events don't happen all at once. They happen in stages. So the question is this enough to commence a criminal investigation? Answer, yes, because it is suspicious that they met with these people, that they didn't consult a lawyer, and that one of these people is a former KGB GRU, that's the Russian intelligence arm, Russian military intelligence arm.
So this is a weird topsy-turvy world where I'm agreeing with Fox hosts, but yeah, I mean, Donald Trump Jr., Jared Kushner, who's top advisor of the White House now, Paul Manafort, who ran Trump's campaign at the time, all said, oh, what Russians? I didn't have any meetings with Russians. Well, it turns out you had an 8-person meeting with Russians, including Russian interpreters. It's hard to forget that. So yes, of course, they knew it all along. And it is equally obvious that they hid it all along. Now, if you didn't do anything wrong, why were you hiding it? And Jared Kushner appears to have omitted it from his security clearance records. That could be a crime right there in and of itself. Man, you went out of your way to hide that from the government, risking committing a crime because you didn't want people to know that you met with the Russians. So, and now it's not just me saying it, it's a whole heap of Fox News hosts, anchors, and contributors. In fact, now let's go to Shep Smith.
They tell us there's nothing to this and nothing came of it. There's a nothing burger. It wasn't even memorable. Didn't write it down. Didn't tell you about it because it wasn't anything. So I didn't even remember it with a Russian interpreter in the room at Trump Tower. If all of that, why all these lies? Why is it lie after lie after lie? If you clean, come on clean, you know? My grandmother used to say, when first we practice to, oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. The deception, Chris, is mind-boggling. And there are still people who out there who believe we're making it up. And one day they're going to realize we're not.
So Shep's a good guy there. He's partly referring, obviously, to Sean Hannity. But Sean Hannity doesn't think you're making it up. Sean Hannity's just lying about it. He's just trying to cover for Trump. You think like Sean Hannity's like, oh, golly gee, they probably forgot about that 8-person meeting with a guy that they were told is connected to the Kremlin in the emails, and they said, I love it, and he probably forgot. Remember, they brought in the interpreter and all those people, and they thought they were gonna get dirt on Hillary Clinton, which would have been an incredibly important part of the campaign from the Russians, and they probably forgot. Even Sean Hannity doesn't believe that. He just says it because he's a liar. It's kind of cute by Shep Smith to be like, they think we're wrong, but we're not wrong. And Shep, nobody thinks you're wrong except people who are disingenuous. So, by the way, Chris Wallace's answer to that was, I don't know what to say. I think there's a lot of truth to everything you've said. So now that's John Roberts, Krauthammer, Napolitano, Shep Smith, Chris Wallace. That makes 5. So now Hannity's got to answer Shep Smith because somebody's got to defend the beloved dear leader. Go ahead, Hannity.
Shep Smith, all right. Shep is a friend I like, but he's so anti-Trump. I mean, went off on a rant last week. That's fine. But it's different. Brett, look at, for example, Special Report, the panel they have. It's the majority of them are never Trump. If you look at the shows even at night, I mean, you can't have more variation of viewpoints than on the 5. I take the position that I want to get to the truth. You're right. And I'm getting to the truth. And one of the issues I'm bringing up is Ukrainian influence, collusion, and GPS, Russian collusion, fusion GPS with the Russians helping the Democrats.
So the real truth is that the Russians helped the Democrats win the election. There's a slight problem with that, Sean. The Democrats didn't win the election. So if the Russians were helping Hillary Clinton, they didn't do a very good job. So no, that is preposterous deflection, and he knows it. There's overwhelming evidence that the Russians helped the Trump administration, including the emails that Donald Trump Jr. just released himself, saying the Russians would like to help you, and them answering, I love it. But Hannity's gonna, and then I'm also amused that he's like, look, the guys on the news side are ranting, but I'm just trying to get to the truth. Okay. Then Shep had to fire back at Hannity because shots have been fired. He says, sometimes facts are displeasing. Journalists report them without fear or favor. Damn. Drums at Fox News here. But listen, I just counted 5 on-air personalities at Fox News that have at least said the Donald Trump Jr. story is about deception and they did not come clean and they're not sure that it's a crime, but they should start a criminal investigation. That's what Napolitano said, because it well might be. So I ask you guys, do you think Fox News is turning on Trump? TYTnetwork.com/Fox to vote. Here's what I think is happening at Fox News. I'm curious what you guys think. That's why we have the poll. But I think that Roger Ailes is gone, of course. He was the Republican propaganda genius. And to be fair, he was really, really great at it. That's why I say that he was a genius at it. He worked with Nixon and Reagan and George H.W. Bush and helped George W. Bush get elected even when he was at Fox News. So he ran Fox News as a total propaganda arm of the Republican Party, but now he's gone. He got kicked out and then of course later passed away. So now that he's gone, there's no one enforcing propaganda at Fox News. There's a lot of remnants of that, tons of remnants, because all these guys got hired by Roger Ailes and his team. So Sean Hannity is one of the old school guys. But now that there's no memos being written saying, hey, get back in line, we work for the Republican Party, all of a sudden, some of the on-air guys forgot that the whole point of Fox News was to work for the Republican Party. So I think that in some ways they are turning on Trump. Not because there's an agenda to turn on Trump, but because they forgot that the original purpose of Fox News was propaganda. So look, it's just a beginning. There's still an overwhelming amount of propaganda over there, but chipping away at it. And who knows, maybe if it lasts long enough, maybe they'll actually, for the first time ever, live up to the second part of the name's channel, the channel's name, which is Fox News. So small step in that direction, but a welcome one. If you like the Young Turks, you'll love Young Turks membership. TYTnetwork.com/join.